I didn't click the video, you did. You always do this. Let's change the subject. I say we talk about tech news. What do you mean you don't want it? You clicked the video! God. After buying Bethesda for $7.5 billion last year, Microsoft is continuing its studio acquisition bender and absorbing Activision Blizzard King like a High Templar absorbing another one and forming an Archon.
This is a Dark Templar for sure.
For $68.7 billion. I don't know why they couldn't round it up another 300 mil and make it a little nicer, but
Woo!
Did you do the math on that? But the deal brings the number of game studios owned by the tech giant to 32, meaning it's only a matter of time before we get a Smash Bros. Style game with Master Chief fighting a Protoss. I already made a Protoss joke. That actually sounds awesome, but people are less stoked about the acquisition essentially serving as a way for embattled Activision CEO Bobby Kotick to slide out the back with a nice payout once the deal is over and avoid major ramifications of these sexual harassment accusations levied against him. Also among the reactions were annoying pieces about how this is a big metaverse play, we need to outlaw that word, and others questioning whether Microsoft is now a gaming monopoly. But even with the extra revenue they're gonna get from this acquisition, the move may only make Microsoft third in gaming earnings behind Tencent and Sony. As usual, we have to give this story time to breathe to see how much worse it makes the world. The question isn't if it will make it worse, it's how much.
They already have Solitaire.
In other everybody panic news, yesterday the CEOs of major airlines threatened to ground flights to avoid catastrophic disruption by new 5G network equipment scheduled to be switched on by Verizon and AT&T today.
Y2K, baby.
Why 5G? The move came after months of intense standoffs over the technology, which the FAA says could crash planes, but which seems to work fine in Europe. But they do things different over there. They're so quirky. At the last minute, the American ISPs agreed to delay the rollout of C-band 5G tech in the vicinity of airports, following similar threats from international airlines. But they did launch it elsewhere, not around airports. And hey, it seems to be going okay so far. The FAA has since released a list of planes with more modern altimeters that won't be affected by the spectrum overlap issue, so make sure you're on one of those planes, unless you're fine with dying, as long as you have really good reception in your final moments.
Put it on airplane mode.
No, I didn't get the benefit! And AMD launched their latest GPU today, the RX 6500 XT. Reviews so far are saying, James?
Boo.
That they're saying that. The criticism stems from the card's bottleneck issues caused by its tiny 64-bit memory bus, only 4 PCIe 4.0 lanes, and its paltry 4 gigabytes of VRAM.
Perfect storm.
To make matters worse, it seems like AMD tried to bury one of its blog posts from June 2020, which claimed 4 gigabytes of VRAM is not enough for modern games. And that was a year and a half ago, drawing more criticism because of the thing they were trying to avoid criticism for. When KitGuru noticed the blog post was deleted, AMD put the blog post back up, like, ah, you got me.
Just hit refresh, she was always there.
Oh, this is a game we play. And of course, the card is being found for prices upward of $280 instead of its $199 MSRP, but you knew that was gonna happen.
Well, we thought 300.
It could have been worse. We're not mad, AMD. We're just confused. What the f is wrong with you?
A mobile GPU?
Still love you. Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by Manscaped, provider of all-in-one men's grooming tools that have you covered from head to toe. Instead of you being covered head to toe in hair, you're covered by grooming tools. It's laying on you like the
Edward Scissorhands.
like the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, part of a complete breakfast together with the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver sprays. Do not eat them. All found in the Performance Package 4.0 kit. Keep things fresh down there and head to manscaped.com/tech, where you can get 20% off and free shipping today. Quick Bits, don't blink or you'll miss them. Okay, they're not that fast. You can't do them that quick, James. Get off your phone. After ghosting the tech world by missing their previously teased announcement date, Samsung has gotten over their shyness and unveiled the Exynos 2200 Eclipse, the company's first mobile SoC featuring AMD's RDNA 2 graphics cores and thus support for ray tracing. Samsung didn't provide any performance data, which would be concerning if it wasn't painfully obvious that this chip is not going to be very good. What? Big Samsung fan? I want it to be good. Research published last week has shown that a software vulnerability in Apple's WebKit browser engine, which powers Safari 15 and all other iOS web browsers, has been leaking user identities and browser information since iOS 15 went live back in September.
But Apple, you're so private.
Everything
Let's
stays
install the
there.
billboards.
You put it there and it stays. It doesn't, there's a bit of sliding. Unfortunately, the only thing iPhone users or Safari users on macOS can do is be really careful while browsing, or switch to a platform that doesn't force you to use one type of browser like you're a child being forced to eat vegetables. Both are wrong. If the child wants scurvy, that's their business.
I use Brave.
Cryptocurrency exchange Crypto.com finally admitted they did suffer a hack, but CEO Chris Marszalek, I didn't say that right, was quick to clarify that no customer funds were lost.
He replaced them with his own billions.
It's true. He may mean that Crypto.com will take the financial hit for the $15 million worth of crypto that apparently were stolen according to other analysts. What if we printed the coins on paper? Would this help?
Metal?
Then you'd have to get in there, do a real heist. Like the Joker. And after the Wi-Fi Alliance made things complicated with Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 6 version 2, MediaTek says they're testing Wi-Fi 7, and they may release the first products powered by the new tech in 2023. Here's hoping they don't actually mean 2023.2a.
I love that.
Which is like a pocket. You like that joke?
That's very good.
It was a pretty good one. What does it mean? And after Wordle clones flooded the iOS App Store last week, here's a story about one of the good ones. Okay, well actually it's not a clone, it's a completely different game app called Wordle with an exclamation mark. That experienced a huge surge of revenue thanks to the popularity of the other Wordle. Well, its creator Stephen Cravata is donating the proceeds of that surge to Boost West Oakland, a charity providing free after-school tutoring for kids. So I guess clones aren't all bad. But this wasn't a clone. We'll have more questions to answer on Friday, so come back for more tech news at that time, or don't, and we can keep fighting. It's up to you. What are you gonna do? I have it in your hands.
Give me some space.
We need to make this work. Ah!